very nice to be here, ladies and gentlemen. It's very nice to be here. I like the travelling. It's a good part of this job. We come to places like this. We travel overseas. The first time I ever travelled overseas with this kind of work was to Las Vegas. I was with 4 friends. It was an amazing trip. I was in my early 20s. I got a free trip to Las Vegas with 4 friends. By sheer coincidence, the trip happened on my birthday. This is an amazing birthday gift from life. My birthday lasted for 32 hours that year because we chased it around the world. And this was at the time when even in the cheap seats on an aeroplane, you pressed the button, they gave you a free alcoholic beverage. Imagine being a young man in your 20s, having a birthday that effectively lasts forever with a never-ending supply of alcohol. I have never been drunker in all of my days. I do not recommend getting drunk before arriving in Las Vegas. Las Vegas will freak you out if you're sober. Get drunk when you're there, obviously, but not on the way. Las Vegas is the future. Floors move, doors open, lights shine, bells ring, everything happens automatically. From landing in the plane, I got from the plane to the hotel without once having to walk. I don't know how it happened, but I know that I couldn't walk, so it must have done. The final part of it was 4 of my friends hoiking me onto their shoulders, carrying me into the hotel, putting me down at the bar, and because they love me, doing damage to me and pouring more alcohol down my throat. This is the drunkest point in my entire life. Eventually, I realised it was time to go to my room. I went in search of the elevators. I found a bank of 4 elevators, a crowd of 7 or 8 people waiting for them. Eventually, one elevator, the doors opened, we all stepped in. You do that thing in an elevator, you have to face the front. You're not comfortable if you don't face the front, so you step in and you turn to face the door. The turning motion upset the equilibrium in my very drunken brain, and I collapsed into the wall of the elevator. Now, as I mime this for you here today, there's no wall there. I'm miming, and yet, instinctively, I put my hand out to break my fall. In the real situation, where there was a wall there, that didn't happen. It was my face that broke my fall. I felt carpet. I thought I'd fallen all the way to the floor. Then I realised it's Las Vegas. I'm in an elevator. They have carpet on the wall. That's a floor covering. You're cheating. It's only really when I realised there were buttons here that I realised I hadn't fallen all the way to the floor. I thought, oh, buttons. I'm still standing. Lovely buttons. Lovely buttons. There are 7 or 8 other people in this elevator. None of them can press any of these buttons because there is a drunk Englishman cherishing the buttons. On the other side of the doors here, there is another row of identical buttons here. Unfortunately for these people, there's a clinically obese American chap wedged into the corner of the elevator here. They can't get past him either. He's sober, he's got the edge. He turns to the rest of the elevator and says, "Which floor do you want?" People start shouting out their floor numbers. He starts pressing all the buttons for them. I can't see any of that. All I can see is carpet and buttons. But I can hear all of it. I hear a man say, "Which floor do you want?" Somebody shouts out 24. The little red light in my number 24 button turns on. Somebody else shouts out 11. The little red light in my number 11 button turns on. I thought we had a voice-activated lift on our hands. Why wouldn't I? I'm in Las Vegas. Floors move, doors open, lights shine, bells ring. I looked at my key fob. I went, 17. The little red light in the number 17 button turned on. We got to the 17th floor, the doors opened, someone gave me a shove in the small of the back. I fell onto my hands and knees. I crawled to my room. I got into my room. I didn't have a bath. I didn't have a shower. I didn't brush my teeth. I just collapsed onto my bed and glued my head to the pillow with my spit. When I woke up the next morning, I was still drunk, and yet I was hungover. I was jet-lagged, I was confused, I did not know where I was or what was going on. All I knew was that I was definitely in a hotel, and I wanted fried food. I knew the fried food would be on the ground floor, so I went on a little walk to the elevator. I found the elevators again, had a little flashback from the night before. Stood there waiting. A man comes and stands next to me. He is 6'5", crew cut, blazer, name badge. He works for the hotel. The elevator arrives. The doors open, the 2 of us step in, we turn to face the front. As we do so, I went, "Doors." Very satisfying. So satisfying, I reached my arm across this giant man's chest and said the words, "Please, let me do this." Ground floor. Nothing doing. I'm looking around, trying to work out why it isn't happening. As I look around, underneath these buttons in the carpeted wall, I can see a little metal grill. I think, that must be where they're hiding the microphone. Maybe I wasn't close enough to the microphone. Lobby. And then a hand moved through my frame of reference. It's at that moment there that I realised what a complete and utter arse I was making of myself. The voice attached to that hand said, "Excuse me, I'll do this." We start going down from the 17th floor. Every floor we go down, a new shade of red is consuming me. They're inventing new colours to cope with the level of embarrassment this Englishman is feeling. We get to the ground floor, the door's open, he goes this way. I don't know where he's going, I don't know where the fried food is. All I know is if he's going that way, I'm definitely going this way. He had travelled just 3 yards in that direction, ladies and gentlemen. I heard him. He got on his walkie-talkie. He said, "Get me a price on voice-activated elevators." What do you mean they don't exist? They've got them in fucking England. I swear on my life it is a true story, ladies and gentlemen. Been a lovely audience. Have a great night. I'll see you again. Cheers.